Welcome to the first video for the Classic Tweening project. First thing that you want to do, as with any project, is go to the project page and make sure you understand what you are going to be doing. You will have access to this via a link inside of either announcements or modules. Now, the instructions become clearer and more understandable as you watch the future videos, but it's still good to have an overview of what you're about to jump into. So, by following the video instructions, you will create an animation that has a body of content. You will do that along with me, and then you will create an introduction, again with my help from the video instructions, but that part of the project will be unique. But we can't start at the beginning of your animation. We first have to do the body, and then we'll insert the introduction. So the largest part of the animation that you're going to create, we're going to refer to that as the body. You will build along with me watching the videos, and what you make will be identical to what I create in the videos. After completing this part of the project, you will have gained a great deal of knowledge about classic tweening, and then you will go ahead and create a unique creative introduction that will last about 8 to 12 seconds long that will focus on the text classic tweening. I will show you examples of everything here, but this introduction that you create, feel free to get as creative as you wish. You can add things in addition to the text classic tweening, but the main thing is that you are showing what you learned when you completed the body of the animation. It is important that you actually go inside and look at your project page, because there is a chance that things could be updated inside of yours that you are responsible for that are not shown here at the time I made the video. If there's anything major, then obviously I would redo everything, but little things can obviously change. This section contains the requirements of the animation. We'll go over and set all these things up together very soon, but it's important that you occasionally come back, look at this page as you're working on it, make sure that you are not missing anything, especially when it comes to the introduction, because that's when you get to deviate and do your own thing. So make sure that it is indeed between 8 and 12 seconds long and consists primarily of classic tweening. The idea is to apply critical thinking about what you just learned about. So in other words, you get all the lessons inside of your brain on classic tweening, and then you say, okay, I'm going to make something based on that knowledge and my creativity, and you bring it to life. There will be a transition from your introduction to the body. And all that really means is that we won't see the introduction and then all of a sudden it just abruptly starts into the body of the animation. And I'll go over this, of course, with you. It's important that you understand this project. You will be graded on your ability to really understand what's going on with symbols while you classic tween. And one of the things that I grade you on that is that you actually get control of your symbols and name them as you create them. And when you are about to do a classic tween, you make a new symbol before you start doing classic tweening. And the way that I can check that is I simply look in your library, as you should be doing as you do this video. I meant to say as you do this animation. You want to make sure that you look in your library and you make sure that things aren't just accidentally popping up in there. That would mean that you've started to do a classic tween without first having a symbol. By the time you finish the thing that we are going to do together, the body, you will only have one symbol in your library. Then when you go on and do the creative part, the introduction, you will only have symbols in your library that you actually made and named. More on that later. The files for this project and all class assignments should be named as follows: your last name, underscore, your first name, underscore, a short description, and an extension. So if Jane Doe were turning in this project, it would look like this: Doe underscore Jane underscore a short description, like class tween for classic tweening, and then the extension of FLA. The symbol that we create, here's the details on that. We'll actually do this together in just a little bit. Also, as we create this project together, it is going to be much easier to just copy and paste a bunch of this text here than it is going to be to type it all in. So if you just keep this open as you're doing the animation, then you can have quick access to copy and paste. There will be process checks along the way, but when you complete the project and are ready to turn it in, you will upload your FLA file to this project link. You will also convert your project to a video, upload it to YouTube, make the video public or unlisted, but not private, and then paste the working URL to the video in the comment section of this turn-in. Now let me show you an example of this project. So what you just saw is an example of what the first part of the animation could look like. Now again, that first part is what you get creative on. So obviously you're not going to copy what I just did there, but rather come up with something unique on your own. Now, this time I'm going to let it play through in its entirety from the beginning. And so as soon as it transitions out of the introduction and you see the little box moving around on the stage, that's the part that we're all going to do together. You may want to write down in your notes what time this file plays inside this animation so that you have a quick reference to it if you should choose. Transition, and now this is the part that we all do together. You can ignore this stuff down here. Your animation will not contain that. Also, your animation will stop on the last frame, which I just updated the instructions or the requirements to include that. See, I told you things could change. In the next video, we will start actually building this project together.